Hey, what's up, guys? Dan at Metro Nova Creative. Wanted to kind of share an interesting bit of an email that I got. We got a new copyright scam kind of going on. So I got this email yesterday, and we've had accidents before where an employee didn't know better and they used an image that they didn't license correctly on like one of our blogs or something. Maybe one of our interns were just kind of learning some stuff and it slipped by us, and we've rectified that before, right? It happens. Certainly, totally mistake, honest mistake, and so we're pretty aware of these kinds of emails. So I got this one yesterday. DMCA copyright infringement notice. I was like, oh no, what happened? And so, it's from this Will Thomas Commonwealth Law, a pretty legitimate looking email. And it says, "Dear owner of Metro Nova Creative," and this is a blog post. And I immediately, took down the blog post, set it to draft, just to make sure. But I was like, but something doesn't make sense. Like, something about this email doesn't quite feel right to me. So normally, if you get a package from a legal firm about copyright infringement, what's going to happen is they're going to first notify who the client is, who their client is, hey, give you some more, an actual case number. There's some more information that's normally involved. It's a little more thought out. This one's really interesting. So image reference, image placement, that's kind of, on par. So everything here in this area seems like, okay, this is legit. And then we've observed, let's see here. We've observed display of the image on your site. We need to add credit to our client immediately. So usually in this situation, if you actually get an email from a law firm, what they'll typically say is that we actually need to collect compensation for our client immediately, not adding credit. If they've gotten to this, and there are these big terrible law firms, it's all they do is they send out thousands of these things and they get you, it's a thing. But normally in this part right here, they're going to start saying compensation, and they might say something like, we need to have $10,000 immediately, or if you want, you can settle for $500 or, something like that, right? So adding credit to a client immediately, kind of a bit of red flag for me, but I was like, oh, that's exciting. I'm happy, if we forgot to do it or if it was part of the licensing agreement or something, because and we did have a license for the image. They said imager here, but that's actually not where we got it from. But we do have a license for it. So this is an important part of working with a web designer that actually licenses photos and keeps you guys out of hot water for stuff. So don't get anything on Google. So anyways, added credit to the client immediately. A visible clickable link, also strange, to captainkrebs.com. Okay, is required. Placed either below the image or in the page's footer. This should be addressed in the next 5 business days. So below the image, usually where if you're using a free stock image, but it says like, but please give license to our photographer, which is not uncommon. And I happen to know that the photographer we got the photo from has a whole profile, and so I it's not something called Captain Krebs. So another red flag there. Also, they're never going to ask you to put it in the footer of the website. Also strange. Urgent request, kind of understand, blah, 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 should not see appropriate action with a given time frame. We needed to activate the case number. This is not a clickable link, which would imply that there's not a case number. Also a red flag. Take action as outlined in DMCA section 512C, but also no attachment or anything that references that section. So not a red flag. And then it just gave me a link to a Wayback Machine, which is just a cache system. Anyways, this is a formal communication. So I forwarded this on to my lawyer. Like, this seems weird, right? He goes, no, that's totally fake. Not only is this a fake email, it's a fake law firm. So here's the image. And again, we had a license, so all good. So it goes to Commonwealth Legal Services. And you're like, oh my God, this is a real lawyer. This is a law firm. They've got stuff, right? And my lawyer started looking through it, and we started looking at it. This is all AI generated everything. Even Mr. Will, the gentleman who emailed me, These are all AI generated bio photos. So pretty smart stuff going on here, right? This is a make-believe law firm. Doesn't exist. It's yeah. So it's a little shady. But I want to show you what's really funny, right? So when they said that we had to provide a link back to their client for the photo that they took, this is the website. It's a shoe company. So this is what's called backlink strategy. So I'm assuming that this guy hired, one of these fly-by-night SEO companies that say, oh, we can get you #1 on Google in 10 days for $50 or something, right? It's not true. There's no easy button for search engine optimization or for marketing. But what these guys are doing is they're probably spamming, they use a Wayback Machine to look for that image. And also, all of these images of shoes, and I looked on their social media too, they're straight up stealing images of shoes from stock from Google and from people's Instagram pages and stuff. And they're just using them on their own social media. So anyways, this company is kind of trash anyways. But anyway, so what they're doing is they're spamming a bunch of companies that have probably legally licensed images of shoes and saying, in order to avoid litigation, you have to link a photo credit. But what you're doing is you're linking back to CaptainCreps.com. So Google's going to see, oh, there's 1,000 websites that all link back to this guy. He must be a really good website and super trusted. Let's give him extra Google juice, as we say. So yeah, it's totally fraudulent. It is actually, I think it's a felony in the United States to impersonate a lawyer and try to engage in litigation in some sort. This might be a little outside of that since they're not actually talking about suing me, I guess. I don't really know what's going on. But anyways, this company's in the UK. I've reached out to the owner already, but I just thought this was a really interesting one. I've not seen this one before, but figured you guys might want to know about it. So good luck.